In March of 1988, a 911 dispatcher in Maryland received a strange call. It was almost entirely static, but through the noise, a faint, terrified male voice could be heard. The dispatcher tried to communicate, asking for the address, but the line was filled with distorted screaming before it suddenly went dead. Using the caller ID, they traced the call to a house in a quiet suburban neighborhood and dispatched officers to investigate. When the police arrived, they found the house completely dark. They knocked, but there was no answer. Peeking through the windows, they saw nothing out of place, but the silence was unnerving. Given the nature of the distress call, the officers decided to make a forced entry. They broke down the front door and began to sweep the house, room by room. What they found was bizarre. The house was completely empty. There was no furniture, no clothes, no sign that anyone had lived there for months. It was dusty and silent. The only thing out of place was in the living room. A single telephone sat on the floor, its receiver off the hook. This was the phone the 911 call had come from. Investigators were baffled. How could a call be made from an empty house? They checked the phone line. It was active. They ran a background check on the property and discovered the previous owner was an elderly man who had passed away from a heart attack inside the house about 6 months prior. His family had cleared out his belongings, and the house had been vacant ever since. The police had no leads. The voice on the call didn't match anyone they could identify. There were no signs of a break-in, aside from the one they had just made themselves. With no suspects and no evidence of a crime, the case was eventually filed away, leaving a chilling question unanswered. Who or what made that desperate call for help from inside an empty house? To this day, the case remains a local legend, a truly unsettling mystery. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more strange stories.